What's going on, guys? So is it worth it training over 10 years of natural bodybuilding, or just to look like this little mid physique of 165 pounds at 5 feet 7? I got asked this question the other day in my comments on my Instagram, saying, well, you could have taken 1 year of PEDs and spare yourself those 13 years of natural bodybuilding. And I'll tell you guys in this video, is it worth it? Was it worth it waiting all that time? And what's the differences between someone that just started and took PEDs for a year that basically got bigger than me in 13 years, all right? And you can do with that information whatever you wish, all right? So I made a shorter video on Instagram, but I'll talk a little longer about it in this video. So in those 13 years of natural bodybuilding, you don't just build mass, all right? You build the lessons, the values, and a lot of things, patience that come with it, all right? But this might not be important for you because you just want to get gains, all right? So first thing first, when you're taking performance enhancing drugs, basically your muscles can now retain more water and glycogen, all right? So now your muscles will look a lot bigger, they will expand more, but it's mostly water and glycogen. The real muscle dense tissue is something that will only come with time, all right? You need many cycles, many years of training, all right? You can't in 1 year, even if you take every steroid under the sun, you will not become like Ronnie Coleman unless you put the years in to build that muscle tissue, to break it down, recover, break it down, recover. But we'll see 19 years old or 16 years old sometimes taking PEDs and they blow up, they're 215 pounds, they're looking lean, muscles looking huge and full, but it's mostly water and muscle glycogen, which is carbs, because now their muscle can hold so much more muscle glycogen. So as soon as they stop, all right, the ability of that muscle to hold as much water and muscle glycogen diminishes, and that's why they look so much slimmer. It's not that they gain so much and they lose so much, but they adapt, their body can absorb so much more muscle glycogen and water at that point where in the cycle, and then their body stops after they stop the cycle, so releases all that glycogen and water, and you see that huge difference. But the real tissue, the muscle tissue, wasn't built as fast, all right? Sometimes the other day there was a kid at my gym, 18 years old, he was on roids and he told me no problem with that, but I was touching basically his shoulder, his traps, all right? And you would feel it, you would feel like you're not touching muscles. It's like if I was touching, I don't know, it's like if you were touching, you can tell that there's a lot of water, glycogen, it's basically blown up on water. Anyways, that's the first thing. Second thing is that when you take one cycle, all right, you're dependent on it for the rest of your life, all right? There's no such thing as one cycle and I'll stop, all right? You hear that a lot. It will never happen. Why? Because you took that cycle, you felt like Superman for a couple weeks, a couple months. Do you think you're gonna get back on training normally and benching only 135 pounds? Meanwhile, 2 months ago you were doing 315. There's no way. It's gonna play with your mind. It's like a millionaire that's going back to living as a poor and broke guy on minimum wage. You just won't keep up with it, and that's why a lot of juiced bodybuilders, when they're not on juice, they just don't train because they don't get as good of a pump, they don't get a crazy pump, they're not as strong, they don't look as lean. So for them, training naturally is just not worth it anymore. So they lose that passion, that excitement for the gym that me as a natural, I've never felt Superman, all right? I've always seen slight progress year over year, all right? So I will never lose that love that I have for the sport. And that is why I don't want to risk taking one cycle of PEDs, because I know that I'll risk losing what I have now, which for me is my life, all right? I can't imagine a day without bodybuilding, okay? But someone that took PEDs for that first year, well, they're dependent on it for the rest of their life, or they will just give all up the bodybuilding aspect in their life. So you either be dependent on it, so you're dependent on PEDs for the rest of your life, and health issues come with it, all right? Blood work, a lot of maintenance. You got to make sure that, hey, everything is on top of your stuff. You got to make sure you're upping the dosage if you want to keep seeing results. You're going to plateau this and that. You can't build and produce any more testosterone, which will cause more side effects on the long term. So is it that what you want, or you're going to also give up the sport all over again? It's rare that I see people that take just one cycle and they stop completely. I remember one guy at the YMCA, he said, hey, I'll just try SARMs for 12 weeks, all right? He took it once and then he was hooked on it. I think he never stopped. Okay, I don't know him anymore. I ran into him the other day. Anyways, he lost a lot of muscles, but I think he just gave up the gym completely and he kept taking SARMs for like a year in a row. All right, so that's pretty much it. Okay, third thing is that the real values of bodybuilding. Let's talk about bodybuilding. Bodybuilding was at the base of it, it's a natural sport that will help you basically enhance your life, enhance your body, build some muscle mass, increase your testosterone levels, make sure you're optimal, make sure you're as strong as you humanly can naturally. All right, so which is, I think, the healthiest sport in the world. But now when we mix with it a lot of PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, steroids, SARMs, this and that, especially when you're not competing, you're not at the top of the game, you're just doing it just to look good. All right, it's becoming counterproductive. You're not bodybuilding, you're ruining your body ruining. I see kids on social media, 17 years old, taking PEDs and basically showing off about it. Well, you're ruining your body. You might look a bit bigger from the outside, but inside, what is happening? Do you think it's gonna last? It will not last. It's all temporary. You're gonna look good for 12 weeks and then you're gonna mess up your hormones, PCT, depression, low testosterone, so you have to jump back on a bigger cycle after, and you keep going up until there's a bigger health issue. Hopefully you stop before that. All right, but then you will not be able to get back to the training in the gym naturally because your mind, you haven't built that strength, that mental strength. All right, that's the beauty of natural bodybuilding, is that you build mental strength. Okay, going to the gym and seeing other people outlifting you and outgrowing you, and they've just been going to the gym for 6 months, but you've been training for 4 or 5 years. How do you think that made me feel so many times? But a lot of times I'm like, you know what, I'm not comparing myself with anyone. And that's what I want you guys to know. It's just a race with yourself, all right? It's a marathon. And trust me, I've been doing it for over 10 years. I've seen guys jumping on steroids and stopping and jumping and stopping and jumping and stopping. And me, I was just on a steady way up, very steady, all right? Small gains every single year. But now everyone look up to me and, hey, you never gave up. Wow, you look amazing. But 4 or 5 years ago, they wouldn't even talk to me because they were so much better looking, stronger, bigger than me, all right? So it just shows you it's a long-term game. And the values, the discipline, the mental strength, the mental toughness, the love of the sport, fall in love with it. It's my passion, you know, like building muscles is just an outcome of it. But for me, going to the gym every single day, laughing, talking to people, lifting weights, it's just a way for me to kind of release all the negativity I have, getting that mental clarity, mental aspect of it, all right? And that's what it should be. Okay, it's not just, okay, let me take this product, let me combine a SARM with this. It's becoming a biochemist, all right? I see people, sometimes videos online, and I'm like, that's not what the sport should be. And yeah, if you're asking yourself, should I wait 10 years just to look like Sharif? He looks normal, you see. I've got nothing crazy. I don't have veins coming out of everywhere, but trust me, I feel at my best. Every time I go to the gym is a better day than the previous one. It never stops, all right? The joy that I have at the gym never stops. I don't have those ups and downs and, oh, now I'm on cycle and it's the best day ever. And now I'm off cycle, so I can't train, so I can't do this, so I can't do that, so I'm depressed. No mood swings, none of all that stuff. The acne, the side effect. Yeah, I lost my hair, but I think that this is due to other factors. So that's pretty much for this video. Was it worth it for me waiting? Yes, and I will do it all over again. And I'm gonna do another 10 years and another 10 years. And I wanna keep training even until I'm 80 years old. I always tell my clients, you'll see me doing pull-ups and push-ups at 80. That's my goal. All right, I'm envisioning myself. Maybe I'll have a white beard at that time. So that's it for this video, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment, stay natural. It's 10:30 p.m. just showing you. All right, the grind never stops, and my goal is growing this YouTube channel, and I'm putting the work in. All right, the things that I learned from bodybuilding, the lessons of life, something that can help me with everything, you know, everything. When you're training hard, you're eating, you're dieting, you have that discipline, nothing can stop you. See you guys soon. Don't forget to like.